All right, let's go to our terminal. So last time we actually got a lot of our elements in, but was stuck on one thing, GD. All right, so look here. All right, so we have our flash components, and flash is basically waiting for the errors object to come back. All right, let's just look at the code editor. All right, let's get this out of the way. Let's get this smaller. Okay, so here's the flash, right? So what we did was on the initial rendering, basically on the initial mount of this component, we have the state of show be the truthy or falsy, right? So if there's a errors, or if there's an object at all, basically it'll be positive. It will be a truthy, and if it's undefined, it'll be falsy. So that's the initial set. So initially there's not going to be any errors, so obviously that's going to be falsy. Let me hang on a second. Okay, making sure that the mic works. As the last couple of times I recorded, the microphone was not even working at all. But I shut down the computer and restarted everything. It should be okay. Okay. All right. So going back to this, what I needed to do was to put a watcher on the errors object here. And if this property changed, so say it was undefined in the beginning and then it had an error object later on, what we want to do is set show here, which is the actual thing that will show our element here. And let's go and actually run this code. Right. Chrome. All right. Let's put it in its own desktop. All right. Local hosts. All right. So let's try to log in. All right. Oh, yeah. I'll bring this up later, but initially we had it where the screen was only taking up half. Oh, basically the elements were only taking up half the screen, but I had to do a little bit of manually updating of the actual div that everything gets rendered into. So let's go hello at warrenwong.dev, and what I want is a wrong password. Okay. So this actually works. So obviously the message isn't what we want. Let's go and update the message. So since we have an error object, we probably want to say you've got an error, exclamation point, and we probably want to maybe display it. Errors dots. That's right. I actually do not know what's in errors. So why don't we just go errors. This is a record string. Okay. So there's going to be properties and there's going to be values. So maybe we should kind of object dot values and do errors. Right. So what this will do is give us an array of the actual errors, and then maybe we can map it, and we say e equals, and then we'll return a paragraph would have been good. Let's just go. Let's return a span with the value. Let's see. E dots. Dot. What does E give me? E is. E is a string. Okay. All right. We'll do E. It's probably an error. We'll just type it out first. Error. All right. Okay. Let's go and make another bad login attempts. All right. Cannot convert null to an object. Okay. So right now, that's right. So actually the state of errors is, let's see, errors. It could actually be an undefined. So what we want to do is say if there are errors, then do this. Otherwise, oh, actually no, we can just do errors and kind of shortcuts everything in. Which is kind of weird actually, because oh, that's right. So because the entire we don't show the component, but within the component we also have to handle whether or not it's going to be an error or not, because the component actually doesn't know that it would have a undefined state. All right, cool. Let's go and hello dev. All right, you've got an error. Okay, and it actually gives us the actual error. We probably don't really want to tell them exactly what they did. Otherwise, they'd know that they'd hit upon an actual email that's correct, and they'll just try to start guessing passwords. So we probably don't want to do that. But it's good enough for now. We got this component to work, and because we have it at we have it with its own internal state, we can actually close it out. And close it out, it's gone. All right, let's go and put in the correct one. Ooh, so I also added the dashboard from Tailwind UI. Let's see. Application UI, yeah. So I picked, which one did I pick? Yeah, I picked this one. Looks pretty cool, right? But also, it only rendered in half the page. And what I had to do was to make sure that the element that's containing this, basically the div that is rendering all the components, I had to make sure that it spanned the entire height So if you can see here, let's see, if you can see here, we have class H full here, also class H full here, right? So anything that inertia goes and renders, like say the dashboard, needs to span the entire height. Let's see, flex H full, right? So I wanted to expand the entire height, but the problem was, let's comment this line out. Okay, the problem is this. You can see that it only renders to half of it because all it does is the containing div is only as tall as the elements that are in it. So these 6 elements here kind of give it the height, and then it doesn't expand any further. But what we needed to do was to add a class attribute to the containing div right here. So like I did not define any of these divs. These come from the setup from Inertia React. So these come out there, but like I can definitely mutate them by calling the set attribute method and giving it the attribute name and then the actual attribute that I want. So once I set that, the dashboard spans the entire height. Okay, cool. Let's see. Let's make it that we kind of lost some functionality from the what we used to have for InertiaJS by like pasting all these nice little Tailwind UI components. So in the dashboard, I'd like to be able to log out as well. Let's see, sign out, right? So I want you to be able to sign out here. Let's go and find that. So dashboard, sign out. So user navigation, what's in user navigation? Where's it being used? Okay. So here is where they map out the links, and href is here. So we can actually just straight up update the object here, right? So href sign out. What I want to do is change that into a, let's see, it's not here. Change that into a link from InertiaJS. It actually did it for me. Import link. All right. So I wanted to import the link, and I want to update here. I want this to be a link. Right. Right. So item name gets rendered here. Probably all this actually works here too, but let's see what it does. All right, let's sign out. Nope, nothing. Let's see if there's any kind of calls. Network. Let's go and refresh. Sign out. Nothing happened. Sign out. All right. Link. Inertial link. href. Might be using it wrong. Let's go look for another implementation of link. Link href. Login. Ah, that's right. So what I need, the problem here is that I probably cannot use this anymore. So user nav. Okay. So it's nice. It's nice that they have like, you know, your profile, and basically you hit an anchor tag to profile and you hit an anchor tag to sign out. But the problem is signing out is a post request. So I will probably go ahead and get rid of this. Let's go user nav. And rather than mapping over the user nav, I will explicitly give it a we'll call it sign out. And we go to log out and method equals post. Here is also sign out. So not as nice, not as like fancy, but those two links are not the same to me. The other one, the going to your profile is definitely a get request, and logging out is a post. So let's go back and okay, here items not defined. Okay, let's go. Oh, your profile's still here. Interesting. Did I save it? Let's go find your profile. Ah. Oh, I took up the wrong thing actually. Let's go and redo. Let's go and undo everything that I just did. All right, so let's go find sign out here. Menu item. It's in a menu item. Here's the anchor tag that we need. And it's interesting. Let's go. Do we import link? Let's go and import link. We'll have the href go to log out. Have it a method of post. All right. And this is the profile. All right. Let's go back. All right. We have this. We logged out. All right. Cool. Let's go back and try to get in. Oh. Oh. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Now it's fine. But dashboard. There's some gremlins there. So I believe it's probably sending a redirect that we did not handle properly. Let's go log out. Let's go back. Aha. That should not happen. Okay. So I went back. I hit the back button. Let's look up the InertiaJS and go link for posts. So link logout post as button as type button by default. Inertia renders anchor tags. However, you can change the tag as attributes. Let's go and do that actually. Creating post but patched anchor tags is discouraged. It causes open link and tab window accessibility issues. That was probably not our thing. But this is definitely something strange. There's something strange in the neighborhood. Who you gonna call? All right, and this is what I'm posting here. All right, I want it to render as a button. Let's try this again. Let's log back in. All right. Hit the back. Oh, that did not fix it. That did not fix it. So that is actually something good for me to research. When I hit back, does link not push in history? Yeah, they definitely pushed in history, but they also allowed me to go back to that route without first going to basically check if like I can actually go and do that. Let's see. It probably has something to do with, let's see. It has something to do with how this is a client-side, basically it's a client-side route change, and the authentication is in the back end. So how do we go ahead and make sure that even on the client side route change, client side route auth, generating is inertia, sharing how it works. This isn't much. Let's go authentication. Actually, let's go to the Adonis inertia. Let's go to this project and see what it says here. Auth. Okay. So here is auth. By default, Adonis will send an HTTP 400, which Inertia does not know how to handle. Therefore, we need to intercept. We intercepted here, but we also need to make sure that on route changes to go ahead and say, hey, are we Inertia client route change authentication. All right, routing. Let's open up a couple more. Routing not working. Route's not working. All right, defining routes, route helpers, generating routes. Nope. None of this. Routing not working. See if anybody mentions auth. No. Nothing here. Auth. Okay. My front-end InertiaJS file. I have a link to the routes. Okay. It'd be interesting to like see that maybe it's not going through this. No. So we definitely, I know that it definitely goes through this, right? So everything kind of goes through if only if there's like a basically a status that we actually want to look at. We actually do something or we want to handle. The rest of it is just handled by the parent component, the HTTP exception handler. So I'm guessing that it's something here that we have to handle. And I think I'm gonna actually call it a night. It's Friday night. I'm a bit tired. My back has been giving me problems for the last couple of days. So I think I'm just gonna take some time off a little bit. I won't schedule any more live streams this weekend. I'll probably try to start up on Monday night again. But I will probably definitely start looking at why it allowed us to go back here, even though we've logged out. So you can see log out, payload, request payload. I have no payload. Okay, it's good. I do a redirect. I redirect to login. Great. Great. But once I hit back, I'm still able to go back to the dashboard, and there was no additional calls. This was all on the client side. So it just went back to here, which is not good. All right, I'm gonna call it a night, and hopefully I'll figure out the answer and let you guys know on Monday. All right, I'll see you guys later.